Hey everyone, this week we're finishing up the Gospel of Mark just in time for Easter. Today Jesus is on trial. They led Jesus away to the high priest and all the chief priests, elders, and legal experts gathered. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for testimony against Jesus in order to put him to death, but they couldn't find any. Many brought false testimony against him, but they contradicted each other. Some stood to offer false witness against him, saying, "We heard him saying, 'I will destroy this temple, constructed by humans, and within 3 days I'll build another, not made by humans.'" But their testimonies didn't agree even on this point. Then the high priest stood up in the middle of the congregation and examined Jesus. "Aren't you going to respond to the testimony these people have brought against you?" But Jesus was silent and didn't answer. Again, the high priest said, "Are you the Christ, Son of the Blessed One?" Jesus said, "I am. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Almighty, coming with the heavenly clouds." Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "Why do we need more witnesses? You've heard this blasphemy against God. What do you think?" And they all condemned him. "He deserves to die." Some began to spit on him. Some covered his face and hit him, saying, "Prophesy." And the guards took him and beat him. So why does this religious council want Jesus dead? We want to avoid kind of anti-Semitic answers of blaming the Jewish people. There's something deeper going on here that's common to all people. Some would say, "Oh, it's because he preached love." Well, Jesus was a little more subversive than that. I think in a lot of ways it's because he challenged their power and he challenged their approach to power. Now, partly it's because he was the Messiah. But there had been plenty of potential messiahs who, like David, would have been called God's son, and they didn't get called out for blasphemy. But that kind of violent messiah who was just trying to be an earthly king, that would have kept the political and religious system the same, and so they weren't really that concerned about it. I think what's deeper with Jesus is that he threatens the temple. They couldn't, as we saw, they couldn't pin down exactly how he had done that or said that. And it's true, though, that Jesus sees the temple system as broken and kind of needing to go because it was about access to God being mediated by these people. And it was about the idea of God being appeased through violent sacrifice. If you're willing to use violence for God's sake, you haven't grasped the way of Jesus. God doesn't need or want us to kill anything or anyone for him. But we're more often happy to do that in God's name. These priests do, right, with their desire to kill Jesus and even just the abuse that they show him before then. If you ever wanted to hit somebody because of a theological difference, maybe just yell at them for what they believe. And that's assuming that we're right about these things, which a lot of times that's debatable. Well, Jesus, who is in the right, what does he do? He doesn't fight back. He doesn't even argue. Why? Because religious violence stops with him. That's what the cross is all about. So, will we finally pick it up and carry it too?